Have you ever felt like learning about manifestation was supposed to make life easier, but instead it left you feeling more frustrated and stuck? Mm. Maybe you've been doing the inner work, visualizing and staying persistent, yet your circumstances haven't improved. Or worse still, they've gotten harder. If this sounds familiar, you're not alone, and today we're diving into why this happens and, more importantly, how to shift things in your favor. I recently got a question from someone who said they discovered Neville Goddard and the law of assumption earlier this year. At first, they felt excited and hopeful about transforming their life, but as the year went on, they noticed their circumstances didn't improve the way they had hoped. In fact, things got harder, and now they're feeling stuck, tired, and frustrated. Their question was, shouldn't things get easier when you start applying the law? Why do I feel like I'm manifesting more of what I don't want? First, let me say this. If you're feeling this way, you are not failing. What you're experiencing is actually part of the process, and it's something that many people go through when they first start learning to use these teachings. Let's talk about why this happens and how to turn things around. First, the mirror effect. When you start applying the law of assumption, it's like shining a flashlight on your subconscious. All those hidden beliefs, those things you didn't even realize are going to start to come to the surface. It can feel overwhelming because you're suddenly aware of the fears, the doubts, and the patterns that were running on autopilot for years. Have you ever noticed that? Old fears popping up, repeating patterns, and that's what makes you wonder, why does this keep happening? That's your subconscious saying, hey, here's what we need to work on. It's not a sign of failure, it's a sign of progress. Next, the old story fighting back. Your old story, the beliefs and patterns that created your current circumstances, they don't just disappear overnight. It wants to stick around because it feels safe, and even if that's not what you want anymore. So here's the thing. Your 3D reality is just a reflection of past assumptions. If your current circumstances feel hard, it's because you're seeing the residue of the old story. The good news is the old story doesn't define your future, it's just catching up. So, how can we shift things? First, let's set realistic expectations. One of the biggest myths about manifestations is that you have to live in the end 24/7. That's not realistic. And that's not necessary. You're human. It's okay to have moments of doubts or frustration. The goal is to be consistent, not perfect. Here's something you can try. Set aside 10 minutes of your day to focus on your desired state. Whether that's through visualization, scripting, or simply feeling the emotions of already having what you want, make it a non negotiable part of your day. Reframe your current challenges. Instead of seeing your current struggles as proof that the law isn't working, see them as proof that it is. Those challenges, they're the old story clearing out. Ask yourself, what if every obstacle you're facing right now is preparing you for the life you've been asking for? How would you change the way you approach these challenges? Focus on becoming, not just getting. Manifestation isn't just about getting things, it's about becoming the version of yourself who naturally attracts those things. So here's a practical exercise. Close your eyes. Imagine you already have everything you want. How do you feel? How do you act? What do you start believing about yourself? Start embodying that version of you, even in the smallest of ways. Next, practice compassionate persistence. Neville Goddard said, persistence is the key to success. But persistence doesn't mean forcing yourself to feel positive all the time. It means showing up for yourself even on the hard days. So, what's one small step you can take to persist in your desired state? Maybe it's revisiting an affirmation, journaling about your end state, or simply reminding yourself this is part of the process. Let me ask you, what's been your biggest challenge with manifestation? Have you experienced this feeling of things getting harder before they get better? Share your thoughts in the comments. I'd really love to hear your story and support you on this journey. Look, if life feels harder after discovering manifestation, it's not because you're doing something wrong, it's because you're growing. Your current circumstances are just leftovers from the past. They don't define your future. So take a deep breath and remind yourself this is part of the process. You're closer to your breakthrough than you think. So imagine looking back on this moment a year from now and realizing it was the turning point that led you to everything that you've been asking for. If you're feeling stuck and want personalized guidance, I'd love to support you. I really do specialize in this. It's perhaps my greatest strength is my ability to see patterns, the things from outside, from an outside perspective, outside looking in, and it helps you understand it very differently. So please feel free to visit Bridge to Self Mastery, book a coaching session, and take the next step towards rewriting your story. Lastly, if you found this video helpful, make sure to like it, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss an episode of Ask Cindy. Until next time, keep persisting, keep believing, and keep showing up for yourself. You've got this. See you in the next episode of Ask Cindy.